What's the channel?
Juggling lessons or cordial curiosity.
Okay, could you write that down for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Is this a live stream or is this recorded?
This won't be live.
Okay.
This was recorded for edit.
So what's it called?
Juggling lessons.
Juggling.
Which is a little hard to find because it's a tiny channel.
Let's see. No, that's...
You'd have to type juggling lessons space channel to even have a chance.
Juggling lessons channel?
Mm-hmm. And as one word.
Oh.
But we'll see. No, they're going to try to teach you juggling. There we go.
There you go. 500 yeah, 500 subscribers. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is my channel.
It's awesome, man. Right.
All right. Thank you.
Oh.
So, tell me something that you think is true.
Where'd the lob go?
Huh?
This is your love. Can I put this on
Oh,
you?
yeah, of course. Let's see.
Now, this doesn't have to be profound.
Okay.
This could be something trivial.
Okay.
Because what I'm going to talk about are the reasons you think it's true and the reasons behind the reasons and that kind of thing.
Communication is an underrated and lost art in the modern day of advanced speed.
Wow. Communication is a lost art because of
the speed of things and the way we communicate now. Communication has lost its significance in a large part of daily life, and I don't think that it should.
Okay. So is this because, like, I'm thinking about like communication over the phone?
Yep.
I lose
texting. Yep.
Yeah. So I lose a lot, and I've had to compress myself into a smaller bandwidth or something in order to get across.
Exactly.
And in-person communication is richer and better.
But people don't know how to do it anymore. It's a lost art.
They lose track on that.
Yep, and it's creating introversion and unwillingness to present yourself. And that's hard because that's really important.
So there's a couple paths I want to go down.
Okay.
The first one is, why do you think it's true?
Well, I think it's true because my whole life I've been praised, because I feel like I'm a pretty good communicator, and I've found that it makes things so much easier, and people are a lot nicer when you're willing to communicate.
Yeah.
What I've found is if you put someone into a situation where they're slightly uncomfortable just by complimenting them, they'll resort to kindness, and it makes a lot of people's day who don't get acknowledged, and it allows for
disarming compliments.
Yeah,
dang.
Exactly.
You are good at this. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
Okay, good. So what could we do to reverse the trend?
Potentially communication classes, rewarding people who decide to put themselves out there, normalizing it, slowing down everything.
Slowing things down. So we need more patience for our communications. We need to spend more time on it.
Yeah, and when you can just live in your own little world and get into this dopamine feedback cycle, why would you ever put yourself out there?
Yeah.
Because it stuff like social media, video games, porn, like all the process addictions, that is creating introversion, and that's what's hard, because there are so many people that could make a big difference that aren't putting themselves out there, just because why would you when you have all this at your fingertips? It's a lot about self-alignment and balance, and I like to meditate. That just knowing who you are is kind of the meaning of life, and it's hard to without communicating and forming an actual opinion.
Okay. So there's two futures.
Yeah.
One where the trend that you observe continues, just in a linear process for 5 years. The other one, I hand you a magic wand. Just keep it at eye level and it's fine.
Okay.
You can ignore the rest.
Well, my eye level's way down here.
Yeah, good. Thank you. So in the 5-year room, we listened to your thing.
Yeah.
And you moved the needle on our communications.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to describe those two worlds and how they're different.
So in the world that I think is going to be presented to us, where technology keeps increasing the speed of daily life and where communication becomes less and less important, I think we'll just have a bunch of really gifted people just putting their nose down and studying, and then not doing as much for the world that as they could, you know, like you hear about.
Oh, so introversion reduces pro-social or
exactly.
philanthropic?
I just got back from pitching my soap company to the school store.
Okay.
And you know that requires communication and putting yourself out there. And I'm not saying what I'm doing is changing the world necessarily, but you know,
cleaning my hands maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's the foundation. Communication is the foundation of everything. And I also play volleyball, which is a very communication-heavy sport. And on every team that I've been on, if I've started, you know, I've earned that starting spot through my communication, not necessarily entirely by my skill. And I just wish it wasn't such a unique thing. Like in the world where everyone communicates, I'd be a lot less special, but people would be happier and have meaningful connections as opposed to a lot of the superficial stuff that's just going on nowadays.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's causing a lot of the mental health issues. Because we need to connect. We didn't evolve to expect to get dopamine at the swipe of a finger, you know? So that's what I think. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does completely make sense.
Okay.
I don't have any pushback from my own opinion, so I'm just trying to make something
I'm glad.
up.
All right.
Okay, so I'd like you to try to speak to the opposite position. What could you learn that would change your mind that improving communications, like in this first-person thing as opposed to the remote texty thing, is there a way that the remote texty thing could actually be more healthy for someone?
Oh, yeah. Information spreads a lot quicker. There are easier opinions to form. News gets out there quicker. You know, a lot of oversensitivity is clouding that, giving misinformation. But, you know, with Twitter and Instagram, news is much more readily accessible. There's a lot of good out there. You know, there's a lot of encouragement. There's also a lot of negativity, but, you know, I'm arguing for the other side. So there's stuff to be argued for, because I have a sister that is autistic and she really doesn't like talking to people, but she can find pleasure and relaxation in being on a call and playing video games with friends and stuff. So you know, getting out of your comfort zone is hard, and some people just have something that doesn't allow them to. You know, and I'm not perfect either, obviously. You know, I've got OCD and ADHD, which have put me into many situations that are, you know, hard to break these patterns, you know, that you've been diagnosed with. But not saying the diagnosis is fake, but like,
sure. I'm
saying
that's a whole different live stream.
It's validating. Yeah. And also I totally lost what I was saying.
OCD, sister who was autistic.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not possible.
That are easier in other modes.
Exactly. Sometimes it's just not possible. Like diagnoses aren't the be all end all. Right. But sometimes it's just not possible to break them. Like, you know, if you have a really severe case, that's that, and everyone should be able to live a life and have friends and be social. And she found a way that works for her. And you know, it's hard because she spends a lot of time doing that. But you know, she's happy, and that's important. And that's where I think this speed that caters to everyone is you don't really have to be uncomfortable, which is a good thing in some cases. Most people don't have the discipline for that. And you know, discipline is a whole nother podcast as well. But not getting out of your comfort zone, especially if you have other challenges like I do or my sister does, it's easier. It's good. And you can find positivity without she says she doesn't understand people, she's got social anxiety. You don't have to deal with all that, and it's all the pain that it brings. You can kind of just find friends organically in this market catered to you, basically. Just being mindful of where consumerism and friendship kind of meet that line, trying not to cross over to, you know, just being a consumer of all things tech. That's all you've got to be mindful of, and then, you know, you can just communicate. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm kind of nervous, so I'm talking really weird.
I'm getting it.
Okay.
I'm getting it.
I'm glad. I'm so sorry.
I get that the pace is a little and so I got to take the wand away from you. That's too much power. Tell me about your soap.
So this is Dope Soap. I started it last year, April 30th. Officialdopesoap.com is the website, and I watched a movie, and I thought, you know, bathhouses are not as popular in the West as they are in places like Japan, you know, or Eastern Europe. So I thought about making a modernized luxury bathhouse, and I figured I need samples, you know, if I want to pitch that to someone. So I asked for soap making stuff for my birthday. And I got it and kind of just fell in love with the process. I took it from there. I donate a large part of my supply to the homeless. Like if a bar is too small or whatever, you know, I just donate that.
That's like my socks.
Yeah. That's
when I buy
awesome.
socks, half of those are. They donate a pair for every pair I buy.
That's awesome. Did you buy those from them?
Not these. Actually, these were a friend of mine found these and gave them to me. I love them, but these socks are probably in that other type.
That's awesome. So yeah, I'm just trying to, you know, bring positivity and hopefully inspire some people. Also,
You've inspired me.
College. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
And if you would be interested to teach this a layer further, I would love to set up a live stream and do a show.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's you.
I appreciate that so much. I will give you my contact.
And of course, you know.
I'll just give you my card. My phone number and email are on my website.
Oh, this is awesome! Thank you, thank you. This will be here. I'll hold that still for you, and of course, it'll be in the description.
I appreciate that.
And if we set up a live stream, all of the same thing too.
Okay.
You've got my contact information.
I do. Oh yeah, that's right. I do.
You've
on
got
your
my
YouTube,
channel.
Yeah. Awesome. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Sorry, his channel is way bigger, a lot easier to find.
Okay, what's it called?
Cordial Curiosity. It's got 17,000 subscribers, something like that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. He's my mentor in this.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate the time, and I'm sorry if some of the messages.
No mess at all.